Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a RWBY Volume 7, I guess, speculation video, because this is like predictions and all that other stuff that, kind of falls under the same thing as predictions, predictions, anything. Predictions, what I want, what other people want, that type of stuff. That all falls under speculation at this point, so that's probably what this is going to be called. Okay, so first off, let me start with what I want to see from the characters. Okay, Ruby's character, I'm going to start with her because she's like the least needing of any type of development in my opinion. Everyone complains because she doesn't get a lot of development. Well, to me, that there's a reason for that, because honestly, even though she's the main protagonist or whatever, if you think about it, there's not really much for her to develop. I mean, she's remained the same person she's always been. She does have, some things here and there, like she does have some PTSD over Pura and Penny and all that stuff. All I think that they can really do with her is maybe progress, like, some, like, I'm not going to say relationship or, not making them into a couple or anything, but I think that she needs some scenes with Weiss this season, and maybe some scenes with Blake as well, because her and Blake don't talk a lot, really. Haven't talked a lot at all during the volumes up to this point. So it'd be nice to see some, some talking between those two. Besides that, I don't really think there's anything that RWBY needs to have done this season, you know what I mean? I'm sorry if I say you know what I mean so much in this video. I know you guys can't answer me, but, I don't know. I guess that's just the way I'm used to talking sometimes. There's not really much that you can do with Blake right now. Unless you have someone like Sun show up or Neptune show up this season. I don't think there's anything for Weiss to really do, in my opinion. Not Weiss, Blake. Because we got a lot of character development for Blake during Volumes 4 and 5. So to me, there's not really much to do with her besides obviously have her do some scenes with RWBY, I guess, and maybe some with Weiss as well. But yeah, we got a gist of her background figured out. She's developed a lot as a character up to this point already, so I don't see anything else that really needs to be done with Blake either. Yang, I feel like, once again, falls under the other two. There's been a lot of development with her in the volumes up to this point. She's had conversations with basically everyone on the team. Though I wouldn't mind seeing Yang talk to, like, Jean or something like that a little bit more. Have some more interactions with her and the other team. So I don't think her and the other three talk all that often, so it'll be nice to see some conversation between them. I honestly think this volume is going to be very Weiss heavy in terms of character development. I mean, we know about her parents' past from Volume 5. But, we know her sister Winter. I'd like to see her and Winter have some scenes together. Her and her father have some scenes together. Her and Whitley have some scenes. I want her to have scenes with everybody this season at least a few times. You know what I mean? Once again, you know what I mean. Doesn't need to be answered because you guys can't really answer me until this video's up and you're answering me in the comments. But yeah, I think this is going to be a Weiss-heavy developmental type of season volume due to the fact that it is an Atlas. It's where she comes from. It's where her father basically disowned her from the Schnee Dust Company. By the way, second part of this is going to have some spoilers, so stay tuned for that. But I don't know. This is going to be definitely a part 1 video, but I don't know if I'm going to make a part 2 yet. But if I do a part 2, you will know because I'll have part 1 in the title of this video. So now let's talk about the other side. Team Junior, I guess, because Juniper isn't a thing because Pura is not alive anymore. I think Jean had some character development, obviously, during the last volume with the Pura scene and, the Pura statue and all that stuff going on. I feel like Ren and Nora, I'd like to see a little more scenes where they're just talking to each other, though we got a lot of development for them at the end of Volume 4. I think we need more Oscar scenes, honestly. I mean, he did talk quite a bit during the last season, but not as much as the other characters. And, he did disappear for that full, chapter and a half that we didn't see him for. But I'd like to see more scenes with Oscar, maybe Osman talking to him in his head or whatever. Honestly, with Oscar, I want to see him have conversation with just about everyone that's available on, the good side. Because, to me, I feel like Oscar does need to, have more scenes with everybody, get his character developed a little more. We get where he comes from, but I want to see more interaction between him and the other characters, figure out who he's more comfortable with versus who he's not comfortable with. Now let's get to the bad guys. I don't think Salem's going to be featured too much in this volume. I think she is going to pop up quite a bit, but not like the past 3, where she was a good portion of the storytelling. I think they're going to be more focused on her minions. So let me get to them. Emerald and Mercury tend to get a little bit of screen time basically every volume since I think the second one. It might have been the first. No, the second one. The second one is when they started getting screen time. And they seem to consistently get a good part of screen time. But right now their characters aren't really doing anything interesting, so I don't see a reason for them to have them on screen unless that is they're out and about and maybe they run into their Cinder, who we'll get to here in just a second. If we do get Emerald and Mercury scenes, I want to see more of their bickering side a little bit, but I also want to see them stand up for each other like they did in Volume 6 and Volume 5 when confronted. I don't know. I want to see what their relationship is. Because, they act like brother and sister, but who knows? That might be their type of, romance type thing that's brewing. I don't know. And I want to see a little bit more of those two in the volume. Not a lot more, not to be like a vocal point, but a couple more, episodes. I want to see some interactions between them. Cinder and Neo, I want to see their journey in chunks of the volume in each chapter. And I kind of want to see what the internal thing with Neo is. Like, I know she doesn't speak, obviously, but it would be nice to see what's in her head and what she's thinking. Cinder's a tricky one because she's trying to earn her way back with Salem, but I think if she runs into Emerald and Mercury, maybe she won't want to anymore. Maybe just work with them like she was before. So yeah, she's a very interesting character, and the dynamic between her and Neo is going to be something fun to watch moving forward. Tyrion and Watts, I think, are the final two that we really have to worry about. Tyrion, we've seen him fight, but we haven't really seen much of the character. He's just some psychotic, bad guy. No character development for him yet. We just know he wants to please Salem, and that's it. I want to figure out maybe a little bit of his backstory. And then Watts is basically the most unknown person. He needs a lot of screen time as well. A lot of characters need a lot of screen time, but they need to make these scenes that they're in very impactful and I think kind of sporadic. Like, I don't think it should be every chapter they should have, like Neo and Cinder. I think a good chunk of every other chapter should be them. Maybe a good chunk of every other chapter should be Watt and Tyrion. And obviously the good guys should be in a lot of scenes because I think the first half of it is going to be very heavily focused on what they're doing. And then the second half will be more focused on the other groups that are converging on them. So in conclusion, I think that this is going to be a part 1. I've decided that now. Part 2 will be more of what I think the story should do. Like where I think the characters should, not just what scenes they should be in or anything like that, but what type of scenes I want to see happen. But this was more of just breaking down what I want to see from characters, and I know a lot of them were very similar, but that's because there was a lot of mystery to half of the characters that I mentioned, basically, and I think we should get some clarity on them. But thank you guys for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one.